Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Hunt, the Supernatural Watch Along podcast. I am your host, Ryan, and I am joined by the Oreo Coke drinking, Rangers
I'm,
supporting,
I'm fucking right.
disappointment, Ali.
He's a sociopath.
How are you doing, everybody? Welcome.
And I am also joined by Kieran.
Who does not drink Oreo flavored cola? Cause fuck my life, not a chance.
And this
That's the
week
guy
we
drinking
are
bright
looking.
orange liquid.
Yeah, everybody loves a brew. We're looking at
You know,
season 1, episode 18, Something Wicked, which initially aired on the 21st of May, 2006, and is rated 8.5 on IMDb. The synopsis, according to IMDb, Ian gets a second chance to right a wrong from his past when the brothers get a mysterious tip from their father about a case they'd worked years ago but left unfinished after Sam was nearly killed by the creature. It was directed by Whitney Rancic and written by Daniel Knauf and Sarah Gamble. As always, the episode stars Jared Padalecki as Sam Winchester, Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester. We have returning Jeffrey Dean Morgan as John Winchester. We have Ridge Canopy as young Dean Winchester, who plays quite a large part. Alex Ferris as young Sam Winchester. And a few others.
Two parts. I think that younger kid plays two parts. I think he's the younger brother in the episode as well, because they look very similar.
No, he only plays young Sam. It's a different kid playing the other one. Well, seeing as we're on it, Ali, what did you think of the young Winchesters?
Nice little callback. It was nice to get a little not callback. Sorry, my apologies. The wrong set of words. A nice little flashback of what life was like a little bit for them after their mother was taken from them. You know, they roughed it for a little while because of obviously John being on his mission like he was, and you saw how he was starting to train Dean. You know, so it was cool to see, and I'm assuming we get a little bit more of that as the series goes on.
Kieran, what's your thoughts on specifically the young actors playing the young Winchesters? Do you believe they're the same people?
So I like the flashback. Yes. I think obviously, let's be fair, child actors can be very hit and miss. Naming no names. But I think their portrayal of a younger version of Sam and Dean are quite good. The individual who plays Sam obviously probably plays him quite demanding and needy. I don't want someone want the Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
And I think the young actor that played Dean really it really showed through that he was caring. And obviously gave his brother what he wanted. And Sam gave him the little toy in the cereal to his brother. So that was quite nice.
Which you don't get anymore, unfortunately.
We don't get Lucky Charms in the UK, do we?
Yeah, we do.
You can get them in specific shops, but it's not
it's not a cereal.
Yeah,
it's not a cereal people have.
In the little toy, you don't get that in cereal anymore.
Okay. I didn't realize you got toys in cereal, but okay.
You used to remember back when we were kids, you used to get little toys in cereal. Yeah, when we were super young. Yeah.
They weren't like
you never got
toys.
to it. I always snatched it before you got
but there we go.
They weren't like toys. They were like little stick things or things for school.
Rubbish. It wasn't any good. Anyway.
But yeah, I thought the actors overall were all bad for the kids.
Pretty good, yeah. The episode opens in Fitchburg, Wisconsin. Hello, Wisconsin! And sorry, I've watched too much that 70s show back in
Clearly, yeah.
And we see a little girl have her soul sucked by a hooded monster that comes in through the window.
As best shades
Pretty
across, yeah.
creepy sequence. The brothers then turn up in town, having received coordinates from John, but not quite sure what they're hunting. Only for Sam to notice that the kids' park only has one child in it, and the schools are out. It should be crawling with kids. Dean speaks to the mother to find out that or the mother of the one child there, to find out that most of the kids in the town have fallen sick. They then pose as the CDC to get into the hospital, and Sam is unsure about using his badge.
His identity.
Yeah.
His identity doesn't match.
Why is he scared to use his badge, Kieran?
Because it says female body inspector, and it's not a
It's in bikini inspector. Yeah.
And just Dean's sort of standing off to the side laughing. It is a funny scene. It is.
Anyway, they use to get in, and they see this creepy old lady with an upside down cross on her wall. But they speak to the doctor and find out that the kids' bodies are just wearing out. But equally, even more strange, the pneumonia spreads in an unusual way. It seems to go through one family at a time, from the youngest sibling up to the eldest. Not how disease normally spreads. Dun dun dun. Not sure why it was a dun 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 moment. It just felt right.
I like it needed it.
Yeah. With that, Sam and Dean go to explore the house of a family who 2 of their children have fallen into it, to find a rotted handprint on the window ledge with big, creepy, stick-like fingers. This is when we get our first flashback. During which, I noticed, you may not have, Sam was watching Thundercats. So,
Didn't actually know. Didn't know so.
How awesome is Thundercats? So, yeah.
Heard some stuff about them being on the loose.
Yeah, I heard that. That was a rumor, right?
Yeah.
They were on the loose or whatnot. Yeah. Who was your favorite Thundercat, Ali?
Panthro.
Nice. Snarf.
Most
best.
annoying
We all know
the most fucking annoying cat out of any fucking franchise from that era.
No.
Christ, he was more annoying than Cringer.
I mean, I was unsurprisingly, I was kind of a Lion-O guy.
I mean, let's be fair, we all felt the magic.
We heard the roar.
Exactly.
Thundercats were epic. For anyone who hasn't seen Thundercats and are watching or listening,
that's their problem. That's their problem. They've never seen that.
Go check out some Thundercats. They remade it. I don't know.
Yeah, but don't watch the remake.
The remake is all right.
Don't listen. Ali's lying to you. Go watch the original, released in 1985 to 1989. If you're watching any other Thundercats, you're not watching Thundercats. It's like when you watch He-Man, you watch the original He-Man. I'm Adam, Prince of Eternia, not Shahira.
You say this. You say this, but you're a hypocrite because you love Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe film is great with Dolph Lundgren. We all know this. It is, and Frank Langella is Skeletor. It is one of the greatest films ever made, bar none.
And with that, you've just lost all credibility.
I'll give to you it's absolute cheese, but I love it.
Dean then lets us know that the thing they are hunting is a striga. And the brothers check into a motel, and the lad checking them in has a little bit of lip for them. But we get another flashback and it is Dean looking after Sam. Yeah, it's I never made the note here, but if it's this one or in one of our flashbacks, John tells Dean that if anyone tries to come in, to shoot first and ask questions later. And that is interesting, apparently.
Americans in the comments, please tell us if this holds true from the 80s through to today.
Apparently it
we
is.
Then find out that the Striga feeds off people's life force. And it's normally an old woman in this form of an old woman. With that in mind, they think it may well be the old woman at the hospital. So they go check on her. Turns out it's not. Her cross is just the wrong way and she's been wanting to get it fixed for a while. She was a red herring, like the very definition of a red herring in the story. Ali, did you think she was the Striga or did you think it was too easy?
No, it was too quick for it to be her. She was blind as well, wasn't she? From what appeared as well.
So they said that, but if she was blind, how would she know her cross was upside down?
Good call. So maybe another missed thing in production, you know.
But Dean also got this close to her, like right next to her face, before she noticed them.
So she
like,
stands.
make up your mind. How much can this woman see? How much is she aware of?
Yeah, I know.
I'm unsure.
It was too quick to answer your question. Definitely.
Yeah. We then have the Striga come into the motel and feed off the youngest of the two children at the motel. Next scene with some research, Sam discovers that the Striga is the doctor. Or if it is not the doctor, that dude has one hell of a skincare routine because he's like 100 years old and he is
so he feeds off the young souls.
Yes. So yeah, they find this from a photo of him. So yeah, he's an old chap, but he's looking good. Dean then fills us in on thinking that this is all his fault because we got in our flashback, and when they were children, Dean, feeling a bit cabin feverish, leaves the room while Sam's asleep and leaves Sam on his own. And when he returns from playing the arcade, the Striga is feeding off Sam or about to feed off Sam. And John comes in and scares it away, but Dean explains that as soon as that happened, he just packed up the kids, took them a couple hours away for safety, and by the time he got back, the Striga was gone. So Dean wants to use the child as bait. Kieran, I feel like I know your thoughts on this, but how do you feel about using children as bait for monsters?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, Ali?
Yeah, I'm all right with that too, in all honesty.
So
the greater good.
With that in mind, they go and actually ask the kid for help, and he is a bit reluctant to begin with, but he comes around. He wants to help. And with that, the Striga comes in, tries to feed off them, but they jump the gun a little bit and aren't able to kill it. It gets up and starts to feed off Sam. And when it's feeding, Dean gets it with a beast of a headshot right between the eyes. Fantastic shot. Boom. Dead Striga. And with that in mind, we have Dean with 8 kills and Sam with 4. We then get some information that since the Strigas died, the kids are waking up. They just Phantom Menace this sumbitch. So everything's getting better. And the episode ends with Road to Nowhere by Ozzy Osbourne rocking out.
Which they play in the Blu-ray version.
Yeah, it's the Blu-ray version we're all watching. So yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know what I mean, it's a great tune. It's a great way to end the episode. I don't know what they would play on the Amazon version, because it was Prime you were watching on initially, wasn't it? That
Originally, yes.
didn't have the same tracks. So I would
Yes.
be curious. So if anyone listening has watched it on Prime,
Put it
let
down
us
here.
know what song, if any, they play, because I mean, got to love a wee bit Aussie, right? So Ali,
Yes.
where are we going right now, my man?
We are going to the most awesome rating system in the world.
Okay, our world famous season 1 villains tier list, where we take the Striga. Where would you place this soul sucker?
I am going to put 5th B.
5th B. So after
Yeah.
the women in white.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you,
Even.
Ryan? Where would you place him?
I probably behind Bloody Mary,
Okay. I mean,
but
okay. I
that's
think behind Bradley Mary.
so, which would probably mean here just
Okay.
now until you're
I think you're both
involved
wrong.
in.
I think
Okay.
you're both
Okay.
drastically wrong. I think we have her first S
M.
team. I'm kidding. Lies. It is middle C. Yeah, I
Middle
think
C, so
maybe
so
between the Benders and the Poltergeist.
which, seeing as Ali puts here, probably puts the Striga top
I
of C
see.
tier. That's probably fair.
Okay.
So somewhere around that point. Okay, with that in mind, Kieran, summary of the episode, and what would you rate it out of?
I think the episode's okay. I think there's a couple of highlights in it that I like. Overall, if I'm watching the series and I only half pay attention to this episode, I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna pause the episode to make a pot of tea or something like that. I'm just gonna leave it on in the background and I'll hear it. Probably give it a 6. Yeah, I'd probably give it a 6. I could take the episode or leave it if I'm honest. I don't think it's bad. Uh, I just don't think it adds much overall. And as a standalone episode, uh, I prefer others.
Okay. What about you, Ali?
Yeah, I have to agree with Kieran. Again, a season filler. It's didn't love it, didn't hate it. Nice little flashback, but maybe the flashback could have added a little bit more to it as well. But I'm just shooting I'm shooting fish in a barrel with that one. But yeah, it was good. It was good. But if I was gonna give it a rating, and I'm unfortunately gonna be a bit low here, I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
Okay. I think the flashback does add stuff to the series overall, because we see from how young an age it's Dean's responsibility to look
I'm not
after
saying it
Sam.
doesn't. I'm not saying it
We-
doesn't. I just feel
We
like
also
a little
see
more.
why Dean is so intent on following John's orders, because when he
Yes.
doesn't follow John's orders, Sam almost dies.
Yes,
I
get that.
And we know, like, Dean doesn't question his dad's orders. You know, John tells Dean what to do, Dean does it. You know, it's,
Yeah, I get that.
so I think it does add stuff. I think it adds understanding to the characters. At least certainly Dean's character.
Yeah,
And also that Sam's never had this level of responsibility that Dean's had. I mean, I know we already know that, but the fact that you get to see it when they're so young really, really says something. I mean, Dean is too young at this point to
to fully
be
understand it. Yes,
No, to be looking after his younger brother.
Oh,
He
sorry,
shouldn't be
sorry,
looking after himself.
sorry.
Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Looking after
I mean,
someone else.
I mean, what would you say they're in this flashback? Maybe 9 and 6. Would you say? A bit.
Uh,
That's I'm shooting
um,
for the hip. I'm shooting for the hip. there.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but they're pretty
Pretty
young
young.
anyway. So,
Yeah.
you can check in.
I actually disagree with you.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you think about it, in 1842, kids as young as 8 were colliers. So
Well,
Sam is perfectly the correct age to be looked after by a 9-year-old. I'm sorry, if you can carry a hod of coal up a mine shaft or, chimney sweep in pre-industrial London, then you are young enough to look after a family, sir. And that's all I have to say about that.
And on
brilliant.
that note,
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I would rate this episode slightly higher than what both of you did, which is unusual.
No,
But well, Keaton normally rates slightly higher than me, but not much. I would maybe give it a 7. Realistically, it's a 7 just.
I'm still waiting on that episode to give
Maybe
me a 10.
even I've done it before. Maybe even a 6.8. That actually feels more. That feels more accurate. 6.8.
I'm assuming an episode's coming where I'm going to give it a 10.
Why?
No, I'm assuming there's going to be an episode that's going to bat me out of the water.
I mean, a 10's a perfect episode.
Oh, I
There's
know, I know,
nothing
I
you
know.
would change. I
I'm
think
trying.
that
I'm
would be
trying.
hard.
I'm waiting for it. That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for that perfect episode in season 1 to give
think
me
there are-
at least even a 9.
I mean,
I'm
there's
not-
9s. Yeah.
So
Just-
anyway, with all that in mind, come and join us next week where we will be watching episode 19.
Nearly there.
Providence.
Nearly there.
We are. Until then, safe hunting. Bye
Take
for